that could come out, and we're asking for
Well,
two.
that's kind of holding a gun to your head, isn't it?
Probably is done. I'm not saying it'll happen, I'm just saying some of that stuff could come up. I'm not saying it is, merely saying that it could. Secondly, we're asking for 2 feet wider of,
Everywhere if we can get.
Yep.
They've agreed to, well, it's only 1 foot wide, I think, the 10 foot parking lane.
one on each side or the 2 feet, remember?
It's one on each side.
One on each side,
Should be.
yeah, right, one on each
So
side.
on a mile and a half, when you multiply that out, you're at $400,000 to $500,000, you're closer to $500,000, I think, when you figure out the cement. So depending on whether the state says, okay, we'll do it, but then you, the city, are gonna pay for the extra amount.
That's given. Any extra,
How about
Look,
the
John,
2 blocks or so that they've already agreed to do at the church? Are they gonna do that in their time? Because they said they would do that
Yep.
for those 2 blocks.
It's probably yet to be
that's,
determined, what you
that's probably
say.
it.
So to answer your question down there you had, it's probably gonna come up for the next 6 to 12 months, because it is until 16. I would hope it wouldn't be 12 months.
They have to get the design in place and done by the first part of 15, present to the state review process.
I believe it's February of 15. They have to have 100% completed, or 90 whatever
Design
percent.
completed for review by the state
So that's
and
probably,
federal.
so it's probably still 9 months down from now. But we'll have some discussion about it.
Well, I would hope they would act in good faith, when they have an open meeting and they make statements that they can back up.
I agree with you 100%. And we'll be to all the meetings to reiterate our position as we were to the one at the federal.
But I'm not saying, no, it was unanimous before, and everybody's went to these meetings and stuff, maybe they want to change their mind after they've been informed on the mini roundabout, so.
And I think in our initial resolution, which I don't know. All right. Anything else, then?
Nope.
Paul? Steve? Joe?
Just a reminder that there is a public open house on Thursday, May 29th at the library from 5 o'clock until 7. And they will be making a presentation, so strongly encourage the business people plus interested citizens that live along that entire 1.6 miles attend that.
And will you put that on our public access? I know right now, if you get it fixed, by then it's gonna be on a DVD before you can put it on there now. Do you think, any idea how soon that'll get fixed?
No, Paul Luther says he's working on it.
Okay. It's really important to our community that this, if there's any way we need to get this on there as well as advertisement, someplace everyone knows.
Is it advantageous to maybe put
Our city website as well.
shopper?
Yeah, you can do that.
Can you get on our, who puts our website, Molly, or
Takes care of that.
can you get that on our website, Molly?
It's already done.
Okay, very good. Good job, thank you. Yes. Coffee hour yesterday, complaint of speeding in the school zone. Stop sign violations in the school zone. Fog line needs to be painted, and we already addressed that right sometime after June 15th. MediaCom issues what basic services, we have no control over MediaCom, they need to talk to MediaCom about that. Parents need to use car seats when required by law, evidently there's some parents that have their children get in and don't put in the car seat. Status of empty buildings on Main Street, mainly the one right across the street that used to be Polo's Bar. There's some, we'll look into that, there's some delinquent, taxes, on it, but it'll take some time before that would get, come to us, so it's gonna take some year. Status of roofs in residential areas need to be addressed. If you drive around, you see a fair amount of, roofs that may need to have shingling, but it's easier said than done, just walk up to somebody and say, hey, you need a shingle in your house. Hot Dog Days was a success. Hanging basket program, baskets will be put up this week on Main Street. New banners in order for the business district, thanks to all businesses that were supporting the project. I think they were $50 per banner, get them, and we got them all covered for what we want, and extra if we need. Okay. Compost site is open every day this week, 9 AM to noon and 1 to 7. And then through Friday and Saturday are usual hours, 8 to 12 and 1 to 5. So this week you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that they're open. New electric meters are being installed starting this week, yeah, or not?
Started yesterday.
Okay, very good.
Watch for your pink door hangers. It'll let you know what day your lights are gonna be
Maybe
off
why
for
don't
a
you-
second.
Zip up here and give, that'd be great. Folks can look for that.
For the next month and a half, 2 months depending upon time, watch for a pink door hanger hanging close to your front door. It'll warn you that the next day, I believe it says on there from 9 to 4, your power will be interrupted for about a minute. And, we put a minute on there, if all goes well, it's less than 30 seconds.
So the next 30 days or so.
30 to 60.
Okay, very good.
Where is 30?
Right now we started on the north side of town, just because of the way the lack of alleys up there. It's gonna be a little slower up there, and that gave us some time to try to figure out the handhelds and how we were gonna operate everything. Yep, here's it this morning.
Did you have to reset your digital clocks?
Flashing, but time was right, so.
Okay, very good, thanks, we will be, Molly will be resubmitting the grant application, Molly, this fall for the demolition of the whole hospital, correct? Last year, there were 6 applications and they approved 2, and we were number 3. Invited us to submit it again, that's to raise the old hospital, and you'll be doing that this fall, right, Molly? Okay, EPA final cleanup performance plating, you wanna address that, Molly, for a minute?
Sure. Yesterday, the,
Thanks.
the company that has to haul away the hazardous waste, haul it out to a contaminated landfill, arrived. And that was kind of the last step in our cleanup process. So the federal EPA had come in, you may recall, and done some cleanup in the facility, which needed to occur in order for the building to be able to be sold on the tax forfeiture, or in order for the building to be sold. So we think we're just about to the end of that process. I'm working with Don Coleman as to how and or when that building could potentially be in a new owner's care. So stand by.
Thanks, Molly. School facility options process were discussed, there's been some open houses, there'll be some coming up for the school facilities. Some of the remodeling or improvements that they want done, so we were at one, you and I and Molly, like a couple weeks ago. So, 9-1. Okay, Highway 60 detour with the closure of 2 bridges at the rest stop from June 2nd to July 11th, 2014. North detour is Hammond Highway, the south detour will be County Road by Lewis, so I'll just explain a little better too if you want to go for it.
Golf course, they're gonna be repairing the approaches on those 2 bridges. And we've already been in contact with the golf course to make sure that they are letting their customers know that there are some shortcuts that they can use.
So you won't be able to get coming from the east going there, just, excuse me, from the west, I'm sorry. Okay, again, thanks to Linda for chocolate chip cookies and a stray cat that they generously give us each month at no charge.
Gary.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
Down the road going past the high school to the west, was there a flashing red light there before at that corner?
Yes, there was, but it only flashed during certain hours when school was going, or in the morning and
That
after.
makes sense. I happened to be down that road a few times this last weekend, and it seems to me that when school's not in session, to have a stop sign there is kind of, you know, what's the use? Why did they take the flashing red light cost?
I believe so.
Did it have to get replaced, or?
As far as I know, it was cost and it was a county decision.
Okay.
That flashing red light did no longer comply with county state aid guidelines.
And the cheapest-
I drove by there, but I was thinking, now, I don't know if I remember there was a stop.
did you flash?
Flashing there, went there or not.
And the cost was the cheapest way for the county to go with state aid was to put in a 4-way stop, so.
They couldn't put in a temporary, or you pull it out, you can't do that. Okay.
Good question. Okay, thanks.
Joseph, the house is directly behind this one on Third Avenue, Second Avenue house on that corner. What's our progress on that one?
That we're good. Guy passed away.
We're continuing to attempt to get a hold of the property owners on that.
How long does it take before we continue to try to contact her and she doesn't? How much time does she have?
First of all, is there a real health and safety issue there? We are continuing to monitor that. And until that happens, we don't want to be laughed out of court by a judge saying, what's wrong with the property?
Okay, well,
Other than
the
getting
neighbors,
Yeah.
the neighbors were wondering what progress is being made on it.
It hasn't fallen down to the extent that the house on the other end of the lot.
So Steve, unless it's health and safety, we're pretty hard pressed to do anything.
How many years does it have to be when if no one's paying taxes on it? Doesn't that also?
It depends upon whether it's homesteaded or not homesteaded. It's longer if it was homesteaded property. I think it's 5 years homesteaded, 3 years non-homesteaded. And the property was homesteaded at the time that he passed away.
Anything else?
How long before we get the potholes fixed in front of the schools?
We're still discussing that with CAG. They did fill 2, 'cause they're terrible. Oh, did they fill 3? I only know they filled 2, so. They came with a trailer, a little trailer load, about the size of a Bobcat bucket full of blacktop, and they thought that was gonna be enough to fill all the holes.
They need about 2 semi-loads.
Well, I was figuring 15 to 18 ton, and I passed that word along to their foreman, and we'll see how far it goes.
Have we finished paying the bill for them yet?
Absolutely not.
Not gonna get paid until it's to satisfaction?
Absolutely right.
So they're 10%. approximately.
County's gonna make it.
No, that's next year. Next year.
Is there any reason or any, that we can have Steve send a letter to speed him up or not? Steve, you think? Would it help anything or not necessarily?
I don't know. Be worth a shot.
I know it was originally on the schedule to be milled and overlaid this year, but with the dry material that they packed into them ditches, we came to the conclusion that if it suddenly gets wet, we're scared that we're gonna end up with a whole bunch of sink areas in there. Because we did large excavations there and we didn't want them to mill and overlay it, only to have it in 2 years, have it nothing but dips, so. That's why we talked to Roger.
That makes sense, but we need to do something that's
I agree, yes. They should have never been backfilling with an excavator.
Anything else, Josh?
No.
Good. Ray?
No.
Mark? Adam?
Nope.
Mark? Linda?
The movie this weekend is X-Men Days of Future Past, and it's rated PG-13.
Very good. Mark? Molly? Okay, motion to adjourn.
Don't move it.
Everyone. Thank you everyone for attending.